Okay, we're going to talk about dimensioning tonight, and or one of the things we're going to talk about is dimensioning and how to control dimensions. But first of all, let me just, well, actually, we'll do the dimensions first because they don't need to, they're not normally done on the title block as you do possibly in AutoCAD as well. You can't do it on the paper space. In this case, the dimensions are basically put in you know, on your architectural floor plan as such. I'm just going to use this as an example, just to show you how they work, and then we'll drag these onto the title block and talk about that a little bit more after that. So we'll start off with dimensioning. Okay, let's have a look at the annotate tab here, and the main difference here is that we generally use this first one here in Revit. Also, you find in AutoCAD this linear is the first one on the list, whereas here, because this is the most used one, they put this one in first. Okay. Okay, so the way it works, if we just click this here, we'll just start with the basics. You have a few options as usual. You can actually pick up individual references, or you can pick up entire wall. Don't generally use that. That's handy for example. And there are options as well with the entire wall. I'll start with that. You can include openings, for example, or intersecting walls and things like that. You can include widths, whatever. So you can the center of the opening or the width of the opening. Let's go with the width of it and go, okay, for example, if I did that and did this, it immediately dimensions that. So that's handy if that's what you want to do. It just drops that in there. You just drop it in. Oh, it looks like it's gone to the center of the wall there. I'm not sure what I did there. Oh yeah, wall center lines. I didn't change this option. Okay, so it depends what you're trying to do. If I went to wall faces, it would have been a different story. All right, so that's the entire wall option. Generally, we probably won't be using that. Generally, we use the individual references, and we will be doing the wall faces. And the way that works is by coming up here, zoom in, and we'll just go to the face there, go to the face here. Now the difference here, we'll just keep going. It's like a continue command in AutoCAD, basically right through. You just go and place all the dimensions, and then you place the dimension string or line where you want to put it. So I'll just do a few of these, and we'll go up here. All right, and there we have the first lot there, and there it is. So that goes there. All right, and then you can do an overall as well. Let's go back to annotate like that. You might want to do that, and just drop that up in here as well. Now, where do you drop it? Whatever you want. As I move along, actually it does tend to lock in like that there, for example. So we'll go with that. All right, so then I generally will just pick this up here and just drag it to the end of that by eye and make that look pretty. There we go. All right, something like that. All right, so that's all good. So, well, how do you fix this bit up here? Well, just exit out of this, or escape, or modify, or whatever. If I click on here, we can then grab this thing from here and drag it out here. Didn't allow much room, but anyway, let's go to there. All right, there it is. The difference is it gives you this arrow or line. You can turn that off from here. All right, and by doing so, it actually turns them off for the whole line there. So if I did any more, it'll be all fixed automatically. There you go, you can move that across there, and there's no line. Okay, so these are pretty good. If we did the 90s, we'll do this side over here. It's a bit more complex. The way the dimensions work, you start off basically from the center of the house here for this half of the house, and you work out the strings or the dimension strings, much like your XPS file that I've given you. All right, and then for the other half of the house, we'll dimension over here. All right, so okay, how do we do that? Let's have another go at this. Let's just have a little play with the what I didn't show you what happens if we did this one here. Where are we? That one there. Using entire wall, options, and intersecting walls as well. Let's see what that does. If we pick that one up, see that? So that's sort of a quick way of dimensioning that wall there. There was no opening in that one, so we were quite lucky. But what happens if we do it over here, or let's do it on this one over here? That picks up the opening as well. So perhaps when you're dimensioning, you might not want the opening, then you can just, and that's a quick way of putting all the dimensions down very quickly as well. So they're both useful depending what you're trying to do. Let me just go in here, change the options under the entire walls. We don't want openings in this instance, we just want intersecting walls. So in fact I could use it on this one here, for example, and I can just drop them in. Quick way of dimensioning. Hey, alright, so the same as this one here, I can drop them over there. And for the overall, I might want to just do the usual faces and individual references and do that. So it is quite handy, this command. There we go. Drop that in and do the usual adjustments. Okay, here again, that's fine. If we had to move these around in tight spots, you can again move these around. Zooming in, grabbing it from the bottom dot here, all right, and just turning off this little tick here, and that makes that disappear. All right, so that's that there. Again, this here you would we had the centers earlier on, so don't ignore this string here. That's not meant to be there. All right, so how do I get rid of a particular dimension I don't actually want in there? And there will be an example over here, and if you look at your XPS file where you might need to perhaps. Anyhow, I'll show you how that works regardless. You hang around here and you tab. Once you tab, it just pre-selects that particular string or that part of dimension, and then you click on it. Once you click on it, you can press delete, and that would make that disappear. All right. So if you made a mistake, for example, you just want to clean a few up, or you can just do it like that. So I'll do it again. You go hang around on the one you want to remove, press tab, it selects it, you click, and then you press the delete key on your keyboard, and it just gets rid of it. All right, so that's controlling dimensions that way. All right. Okay, so what if you wanted to use this other one? How do we use this? This one, oh, sorry, where's my annotate? How do we use this one here? Well, with difficulty, I suppose. It's not really designed for what we think we should be able to do this. It's not really for this sort of situation. It's not really right. I'll just demonstrate this in a different way. I'll just drop a wall. It doesn't matter what type of wall it is really. Just drop it in here. Oh, it does matter that we should be able to see the wall. So let's just change the to height. All right, and level 1, and just drop this in here like this, like that. Okay, let's do something wacky here. All right, so how do we dimension this? Okay, for example, all right. If you want to dimension, if we use this one here, and we'll go with the usual, and we'll go with this one here, now what are we doing? We can do wall faces, we can do individually, that's fine. Now how do we dimension this? Well, with difficulty, we can't actually get to that to dimension it, but what you need to do in this situation, actually, hold on, there's a wall face. If I click here and I click there, that will be fine, that will give us that. But what if I want to dimension, okay, what I want to dimension, from that corner there to that corner there, and get that dimension coming out here. Right, what you do is come around here, hang around, and tab. As I tab, I'll make it bigger. As I tab, there's a little dot there, which if I move it away, you can't see it. Maybe I'll change that. Tab, 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 tab. There's a dot. Click it. Right, now come over here and tab, 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 click it. Okay, all right. So that's how you do it. And you can go into here, for example, and go tab, tab, and you can get that dot if you want to dimension from the internal part of that wall, rather. You can go in there and just get it from that dimension. All right. So tab is the answer to that. All right. So what if I want to? Oh, this could be difficult. One dimension there. I want to dimension the horizontal. So if I tab, let's see what happens. Got that? Oh, first pop. And I want to put a dimension that's horizontal there. All right, or vertical. Depends which way I go. I can go that way, or I can go down this way. So it's much like the AutoCAD linear here. Well, I want to just dimension that. So again, tab there and tab there, and put the other one over here. So tab is handy for both commands, whether linear or aligned, to just pinpoint the location you want to latch onto. It's quite easy to dimension this way, but when you get something difficult like this, you need to know those little tricks. All right, so that's the that one there. We've been through basically most of the commands we need for dimensions. Well, of course, there's this one's here, angular, for example. And again, that's got wall faces here, so it's got some options there, so you might want to do that and that. That's pretty straightforward. All right. And yes, okay, well, the interesting is picking up the diagonal dimension thing here, but we're in architectural, so all you're getting is basically diagonals. When we do our structural, we will be getting arrowheads, because the structural template's got arrowheads. It's not to say you can't import one in. If you wanted arrowheads, you can go to your insert and go to the right location and find one from the annotations folder. There should be something there. You can bring in an arrowhead. If not, it's not too hard to open up another template and just basically steal one, copy one across. All right. So much the same as AutoCAD, for example, in that, or in anything really. All right, so that's the annotations. What else have we got in here that's of importance? Arc length, diameter, we don't have any of that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Any questions on that? That it? Yep. Yep.
If you click the point where you made a mistake,
yep,
then you go back instead of escaping and starting again?
Yeah, good question. So if we made a mistake along this run here, for example, so if we delete that there and we dimension here, can we sort of go back? You really can't go back. You have to just keep going. So for example, if we go to this one here, and it's on wall faces, individual, so I keep going like this, I keep going like that, and do that. And here I forget to do this 90, and I just go to the next one. I think, oh gee, I forgot, but I'll just finish my run, put it down, right? I don't know a way of sort of stopping halfway. I'll just do it, and then I come here and say, okay, well that was not right. So I got to escape out of the command, come here and go tab, and then you delete that one, and then you go back and you add the other one in. So you just go from there to there, and then to there, and then you just drop it there. All right, it sort of snaps to that location because it just sort of works it out, I suppose, and just drops there. But you could go SE for snap endpoint and just drop it onto the end of that, I suppose. Yeah, that's how you correct it. All right. Deal. We're running out of time, so we'll just stop that one there.